In this video, I'll be covering how to invest in real estate with little to no money. Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Bellini, and I'm all about achieving financial independence through real estate investing and online business. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking to achieve financial freedom for yourself, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really does help me out, and I'll keep cranking out these videos. The biggest problem most people face when investing in real estate is coming up with the down payment. Median home price today is around $400,000, and when you include, 20% down, closing costs, fees, and moving costs and everything else, that's pushing $100,000. And who has $100,000 just laying around? So I want to go over 7 ways you can invest in real estate with little to no money. Number 1 is rent hacking and house hacking. So you need a place to live. You're going to be living in an apartment or renting a house or something like that. And what you can do is, get a lease and rent a place with multiple rooms and get roommates, and then have them pay for an individual room, and then have them pay a little bit more than what it would be evenly split. So your rent is lower than theirs. So you can pocket that extra cash and use that for a down payment later. And house hacking goes along the same line. So let's say you do own a house and you live there, rent out the rest of the rooms, and try and live as cheaply as possible so you can save up that money and use that for a down payment. So you can do a 3.5% down FHA loan, you can do a 5% down loan, 10%, whatever you can afford. But this is a great way to really lower your monthly expenses and save a big chunk of cash every single month. Number 4 is wholesaling, and this is when you're selling a contract for the right to purchase a home. So for example, let's say you go knock on 100 doors and talk to all the owners and ask them if they're willing to sell their home for a certain price. And everybody says no, and you come to one person that says yes. And they say they're willing to sell the home for $500,000. And so what you can do is take that contract that they signed and go shop it to investors and say, hey, I have the contract, the right to purchase this house, and I want to sell it to you for $510,000. And the investors say, okay, I'll take that. And so they sign their name, and now they have the right to purchase that house, and you save the $10,000. Number 5 is a hard money loan. So there are lenders out there that will lend you whatever money you need to purchase a house. The problem is they charge a lot higher fees. So you're looking at like 12, 13, I don't know, maybe even 15%, depending on the lender. And that really adds up month to month. You're going to be paying a lot of money. And so you don't want to be paying that for a long time. So you need to know what you're doing. So let's say you're going to be flipping the house. You can use hard money, purchase the house, flip it, and then sell it and pay them back, and then save any profit that you make out of the deal. Or you can buy it and then rehab it, fix it up, and then refinance it into a new loan and pay the lender back, and just do conventional financing, and then put a renter in there and they start paying the mortgage for you. Number 6 is seller financing. So you don't have to work with a bank to purchase a house. You can just go find a property where the owner is willing to do owner financing, and instead of paying the bank for the house, you just pay the owner of the property, and eventually, once it's paid off, the property becomes yours. So, how many properties can you buy with this strategy? You can buy as many properties as you can find where the owner is willing to do owner financing. So this is a great strategy for scaling. Number 7 is partnerships. And when you have no money, this is when you bring experience to the table. And I could probably do a whole video itself on partnerships, but I want to go over a few possibilities here. So the first one would be, you could be a property manager for long-term or short-term stays. So you could go to somebody who has money and say, hey, let's purchase this property and invest in this property. You bring the money, and I will completely manage everything. I'll manage the tenants, all the payments, all the, any construction that needs to be done, anything and everything I will handle. And so it's completely passive for the person who purchases it. Same thing with Airbnb. So let's say, you work with an investor to purchase a house. You say you will manage everything. You manage the guests, you manage the cleanings, you manage everything. So it's completely hands-off for the person who purchased it. But you're in the deal for whatever percentage that you negotiate. And so that way you can scale that way too, because you can keep finding investors and managing, and you can outsource some of that managing it as well. So that is one way you can do it. Another way to do it is, let's say you bring construction skills to the job. So you can say, I have a skill set, you have the money. You purchase the property, I will fix it. So you find a fixer-upper, and they buy it, and you go in, and you could even do a hard money loan and use that money to fix the property up. And then you can turn around and sell it, and you could split the profits, or you could keep it and rent it, or make it an Airbnb. There's a lot of different possibilities. So if you have, a construction skill set, that is very valuable. Another one you can do here is, let's say you have really solid design skills. So, you can go to an investor and say, I don't have the construction skills, but I can make a really nice looking, Airbnb. So you can go in and manage the remodel, work with contractors, get it completely remodeled, order the furniture, decorate, prepare the Airbnb ad, take the pictures, manage the Airbnb, just make it completely passive for the person who purchased it. And then just kind of go from there. Another thing I want to mention here also is when you're doing partnerships, there's ways you can kind of negotiate the contract. So one thing you can do to sweeten the deal, let's say you're going to purchase an Airbnb with an investor who has the money and you have zero money. What you can say is, okay, purchase this property. I think it has good numbers. I've done the research. Purchase this property and I will manage it completely for free. And when your initial investment is paid in full, then we will split the profits. So that makes it, so they get, their cost back up front or, faster, and then you'll make money kind of later on. So you could kind of do it that way. And you could also, like, during that time, you could, clean the Airbnb yourself, so you can make, some money through the cleaning fees. So that's a possibility. Let's see what else you could do. You could also pay more on seller financing. So let's say you find a great deal through seller financing and they're kind of wishy-washy, not really sure they want to sell. What you can do is give them a higher price than they're expecting. So let's say it's $1 million, then you can offer them 1.2, and basically they're like, oh, that's really nice, a little bit more money. But what you can do is make the contract, instead of like 30 years, you can make it 40 years. So you can extend that contract out further. And so your payments would still be a little bit lower and a little bit more manageable, but they can get more money in the long term. So you can kind of play with the contract a little bit to sweeten the deal for them, while you can still benefit at the same time. So these are 7 ways you can invest in real estate with no money. And if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.